Welcome back to Golf Simulator Videos. Today we're back with video number 2 covering the Ernest Sports ES Tour Plus launch monitor. If you saw our first video, we did a first look with an unboxing, talked about the technology that drives the ES Tour Plus, and hit a few shots with a 9-iron using the ES Golf app that's included for both Windows and also mobile devices. Alright, so this video, I had a lot of people reach out talking about them wanting to see putting and chipping with Golf Simulator software. So we're hooked up to E6 Connect today and we're here to show you that. Now I had several people talk about the history of Ernest Sports having some difficulty with their last product, which I believe was called the ES16. Now I asked Ernest Sports about that. They said that the ES Tour Plus has been torn down, reconfigured, and relaunched now as basically the newest update of that ES16. So we're really here to kind of show you guys if it has capabilities or not, and you can tell me if you're seeing, any differences from what you saw with the ES16, because I don't have personal experience with that. As always, I'm here to demonstrate things for you guys. I give everything its fair shot. I set it up in my environment and I do uncut videos so you guys get to see how they're performing, okay? So obviously I can't make a guarantee for a product on how it's going to work in your environment. I can just show you how I have it set up in my environment and give you a live demonstration of how it's working, okay? So just something good, I think that was, to touch on, because I had several people say, hey, watch out, the ES16 had a lot of issues. So I don't have personal experience with that. We're here to test the ES Tour Plus. So let's do some chipping and putting on E6 Connect. So let's go under practice. Let's go under next. Let's go under chip and putt, and let's go to the 20-foot flat area, and then let's go tee off. Now I have my stimp set at 9, which I feel like is a decent match to my room. I'll tell you what I'll do as well. I do this a lot of times. I move the ball, or the ball view, to where you guys can see it, and I think that helps. I think that shows you guys the line that it's rolling down. All right. I've talked about how you place the ball down. They want you to get away from it, and it takes 3 to 5 seconds in order to get a green light. You don't have to place the logo flat and level for chipping and putting. That's something that they pointed out to me, so I'm not doing it. I'm actually using my Pro V1 line to line up straight to the target, and let's see if we can hit this 20 feet and straight. That was a pretty good putt. Just to the left, it's saying 23 feet. All right. And I'm hoping that you guys can get a really good idea of how that ball is rolling, because I put the camera right down the line. All right. So rather than me trying to judge, how that's rolling, I want you guys to get an idea. All right. It's just over 10 feet to my screen. So if the stimp is matched up reasonable, then you guys can get an idea on that. So 20 feet. That was another decent putt. All right, I had that just a little short, 17 feet. I'll try to give this one maybe just a little more juice. I don't really disagree with that. I mean, I feel like I might have hit it just a little lighter. I definitely have noticed, and I only hit a few practice shots to make sure everything was working in putting and chipping, but I noticed that the left and right deviation of putting, it seems very sensitive. Rolling a ball dead straight, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've only hit a few, but I don't think I've hit a dead straight putt yet. Let's see if I can do it. How's that? So it showed that ball going slightly left, and I actually have that ball slightly right inside the simulator. So we might be getting just a little bit of deviation on right or left with a 20-foot putt. And of course we can test this next with maybe like a 9-foot putt, and then we'll do some 2-foot putting, or 2-foot putts. I know everybody always wants to see the super short putt to see if a launch monitor can read it. All right, let's give this another try. That was another really good putt. Oh man, so that was just left of the hole. I mean, just left of the hole, exactly 20 feet. Probably my best putt yet. Let's see if we can do one more just like that. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. You're watching the ball roll. You know, how do you feel that this is being, you know, replicated onto the simulation software? I hit that one a little harder. Okay, it has that kind of taken off a little bit to the right at 20 feet. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of deviation, you know, and it almost comes, you can see a little bit later, like the ball has, you know, it doesn't show side spin, it shows carry and launch and a backspin of 100 every time, which is interesting. I don't know if any of those data points are really coming to effect. I mean, most launch monitors are reading ball speed and then the direction. So the carry and the launch that it's showing, you know, it is my turf with the ball bouncing affecting this in any way. I know that some launch monitors want you to have a super smooth putting surface. I mean, mine has worked in most so far. So that's something maybe I could ask Ernest Sports about. Let's go ahead and try short putting. All right, let's start with 9, okay? And once again, we'll just do nice and flat. Move that a little bit closer. There we go, let's just try 9 feet. And the reason I like 9 feet is it's just over 10 to my screen. So if I have that stimp, you know, close, then I should be able to putt this, you know, kind of just past my screen and sink it in the hole if it's straight. That should be good speed. All right. It has that at 13 feet, and it had a little bit right. So let's see if we can, I mean, that, I didn't have that quite at 13, but we're at a 9 stimp. You know, honestly, a lot of times we'll play an 8 stimp. So, you know, am I hitting a little bit hard? I mean, it's really tough to call. I'm gonna hit it just a little bit softer this time. We made our first putt. All right, I hit that just a little bit softer. The ball rolled nicely and straight, and we made it in the hole. So, but I'm even seeing a little jump on the line. Let's pull the analyzer back up. This is what I was talking about that I'm very interested in. See the little jump right there? I think they have the ball launching, which if you don't have a smooth surface, and if you guys can see my cursor, I'm trying to remember if the screen record shows it or not, but look at the red line on top. And see how that there's a little, like I'm hitting down on the ball and not up, which I am known for. That really could, you know, cause a change in putting. Versus most monitors are not giving the ball any bounce because they know that a lot of surfaces aren't perfect. All right, so I'm going to put this ball a little further up in my stance. Try to maybe hit a little up on this ball a little better. It'll be interesting to see if it shows, you know, more launch. I made it again. So I feel like I adjusted for that speed just a little bit. And don't get me wrong, that ball's carrying about 9.5 feet inside the sim. So, I mean, maybe I hit that first one just a little bit too hard. You know, it also broke right. I didn't have it breaking that far right. Could it have just been a misread? Very possible. See if I can make another here. So apparently this is a little easier than the 20-foot putt based on, I mean, I hope my putting wasn't that bad on the 20-foot. It didn't seem like it. Oh, I barely made that. Barely made that. All right, well, I think that shows that I can make 9-foot putts. So let's go ahead and move the ball again. Let's do the ultimate test here for like a really short one. We'll just do flat first. You know, let's say you're trying to make a, you know, a super short putt. Here's just a 2-foot putt, okay? Can it read just a light tap in? That's the question. A lot of people ask this. Can the launch monitor read a light tap in? I'm gonna carry it a little over 2 feet in the sim. Okay. So did I hit it so soft it didn't read? Do you need to hit it a little bit harder? Let's try. That was a pretty soft tap. Let's try to carry it, you know, maybe a little over 3 feet. Okay. That rolled out, you know, a little past 3 feet, but I was able to make the 2-foot tap in. That probably rolled in the sim, you know, 4 feet, let's say, something like that. Once you get just enough speed on that ball, obviously, you know, it's gonna keep rolling on turf like this. Yeah, see, the balls, you can make it no problem. I mean, the ball's here. I mean, 4 to 5 feet of total roll. You know, you can tap in a 2-foot putt. I'll do one more super soft, and I'll tell you what the difference is going to be, and we can move the ball. Let's do this. Everybody always wants to say, well, what if I'm playing these super short gimmies, and the pin is located in a really wild spot, like down here on a hill, okay? And you have this downhill putt, okay? Why is it not showing it that downhill? We got to pick something crazy here. Thought that was at the base of the hill. Is that at the base of the hill? How about that? I'm struggling to find. So that's 6 inches downhill. 1 inch, 1 inch. It's just not as downhill right there as I thought. Well, how about over here? That's nice and downhill. Let's try that. There we go. All right, so you have this short putt, a 5-foot putt that's 4 inches downhill. Now that's a difficult putt. All right, we could even find one with some break on it. But let's see if you can make a 5-foot 7-inch putt that's 4 inches downhill. So essentially it's telling you only to hit this for a few feet. All right, so that I'm assuming is too soft. So on these short putts, it looks like we do have a little bit of struggle. All right, you can do it. You have to hit it just a little bit harder. Now how they had club speed 3 miles per hour, ball speed 3.9. So it is reading the putter club speed. According to E6, it's sending club speed. I've mentioned this before. They informed me that the rear radar reads club speed, the front radar reads ball speed, and then your cameras are you know, pointing at the ball. All right, here we go. Okay, all right, so just a little more speed. You can't just tap the ball, but we were able to make some putts. So let's move on to chipping. I don't want the video to drag on too long. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move the flag. Where do I normally have that flag? I think over here. Let's go over there and then move the ball over in this chipping area. Let's see here, that's 66. From there, we'll go a little bit closer, like 50 feet. That's not bad. Plus it's a difficult chip because it looks like, you know, it's a little uphill. I guess it's gonna stop the ball. I mean, it looks like it's rolling a little bit to the left as well. All right, so we're not gonna do the logo again. They said you don't have to do it on chipping, all right? It says I'm selected on sand wedge on here, okay, for club. Now that's interesting. I wonder if, because I'm 50 feet away, that's the first time, when I first tested chipping, and this will be good for you guys. Let's see if it's closer. All right, something like this, like 39 feet. Will it say chipping? Now it says chipping. So there's something that I was not aware of that you guys should know. It just went from sand wedge, which would be more of a full shot, to chipping. All right, it says CHP. It said PTT for putting. Now it says CHP. All right, so it said I don't need that logo for chipping. So let's go ahead and not do the logo. We're just going to do our Pro V straightforward, 39 feet. I'm using a 58-degree wedge. All right, now that's a little uphill, and I felt like that might have been a little short. That was probably on me. Let's see if I can carry that a little bit farther. That said it carried 15 feet. All right. I got to be a little more confident in the hill up there, so try to carry this thing. Let's 39 feet. All right, I'm gonna try to carry it like 35. All right, I carried it further, but not as far as you need on that hill. But we have it reading chips. That's good. I'm sure people want to see some really short chips too. I want to make sure I try to get one close to this pin for you first. All right, I'm gonna get a little more juice on this thing. Hopefully that's not too much. Nope. Of course, then it rolls past the pin though. And I'd like to show you guys some different styles of chips, or different styles of chipping. You know, and what I'd like to do is, because that other location is actually a perfect location, let's go back to it really quick. So this is an easy way to do this, just so you guys know. You can go to new course, go back to the 20-foot flat area, and I'm already back there already, okay? And now what I can do is I can just move my ball just off the green. All right, so here we are with this short 33-foot flat chip now. All right, so now we can show you some different things. I'll do the ball view for you again so you can kind of see the ball taking off. Let's do that. So there's the ball. I'm in CHP mode again. Always lining that ball up just to the rear foot, and 8 to 10 inches from the machine. That's something that I talked about the first time. It's relatively close. They recommend 8 to 10 inches. So I only want this ball to go about 20 feet if I'm going to kind of bump and run a little bit, because I figure it's going to run out about 10 feet. All right, I didn't quite get the run out I was looking for there, but if you notice the launch, it was a little bit higher than I probably should have had for that type of play. So let's try to get it a little bit lower, and I can even use a different club as well. But let's really try to keep this thing low this time. Get my hands way forward. There we go. That was a lot lower launch. All right, now it had that ball kind of going a little off to the left. I'll tell you what, I'll do it one more time with this. Now the launch angle was 26.8. And it was tough for me to kind of see where it hit on the screen. So hopefully you guys will get an idea if that ball really took off kind of towards the left there. That was right at the pin. All right. So definitely got it there that time. It rolled a little farther past. And now what we'll do is we'll do a little different play. We'll grab a pitching wedge. All right. And I've done this with 7-irons. I've done it with a bunch of different clubs before, because people say that they like doing this a lot of times. They don't like using their wedge. They're afraid they're going to chunk it, and so they use something like a anything from a pitching wedge to 8-iron. We'll just use a little pitching wedge here and just kind of do a little chip with it. Oh, that was low and left. It should be low and left. No, it just had it low. Not a bad chip with it, but it kind of hit down here. So depending on the bounce it gave me, let's do this. We'll move the flag a little further away for this play. Try to give you guys a nice variety here. Now the question is that's probably not chipping anymore though. So 54 feet, it does still say chipping. It currently says chipping at 54 feet on here. Let's see if it reads properly, because last time we had sand wedge, and it's, you know, we're so close to the green, that might be part of how it's reading that. It's probably a good question to ask. So 54 feet. I have my pitching wedge here. We're gonna do a little bump and run. I had that hitting a little off to the right. That just wasn't enough though. I left it 18 feet short, so I can hit that a little harder and see what I've got. I always wait for the screen to clear, and then I lay the ball down. I don't know if it's necessary. Hit this just a little bit harder. So it seems to be reading these other irons, you know, with your low chips quite well. Well, see, I rolled it past that time. But you could totally see that launch angle. You know, it came off all right. I think it did a decent job. And then, of course, everyone's going to want to see if you have to go up and over a bunker, you know, can you flop shot it? So let's, why don't we try it? Why don't we just put the pin right here? Why don't we put the ball right here, let's say? A little 44-footer that you have to go up and over. Let's see if we can bring any skill to the table here and flop it up and down for 40 feet. Here we go. Almost hit the top of my screen. I'd say that it did a decent job. I'll tell you what, not bad. I got some more backspin on it. It says 3611. And as I mentioned before, I did not you know, align the logo. All right. See if I can do that twice. I feel like I'm not that good at these. That was kind of surprising that I got that close to the pin there. Let's see, you ready? I might have juiced that one a little too hard. Stop. That was better. Yeah, it was better. I was a little worried it was a little too much, but the spin helped. 37-31. All right. So overall, with the putting and chipping, one thing that I definitely would like to confirm with Ernest Sports is what it's reading for putting. I'm definitely noticing a little bit of deviation, and if my surface is causing any of that, that'd be very interesting. So I definitely plan on asking him that. And if you're, I guess if you're looking at the product, you might want to bring that up, just because I did see some balls from what I could tell, and you guys probably even have a better view than me, you know, whether they're rolling, you know, in that direction towards the end, because it was very difficult to keep a putt straight. Okay, so what all is it reading? That's something to bring up. As far as chipping and putting goes, something to pay attention to is whether it's on sand wedge or if it's in chipping mode. All right, it appears to be something different. All right, I'm not sure, and because you don't have to use the logo lining straight, obviously that'd be something a little different that I've noticed, but I'd be very interested in see what your guys' comments are. As always, demonstrating the product, you know, I'd love to know what you guys think, and that way we can continue to do other viewer request videos just like this. This has been Putting and Chipping with the Ernest Sports ES Tour Plus launch monitor. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe. There'll be a lot more coming, and we'll talk to you soon.